Welcome to Joe's Astrology. This is the birth chart for Sydney Sweeney. She's an actress and she is a Scorpio rising, Sun in Virgo, and Moon in Capricorn. So let's start with the rising. We can see the ruler. The ruler of the rising is Pluto, or we could say it's Mars, here in the 1st and the 12th. But let's say it's Mars. Mars, the classical astrology, Mars is the ruler of Scorpio. It's in the 12th house. So the ruler of her chart is in a money sign. It's in the 12th house, and it's in the Pisces decan here. So we can already see the indication that she is going to be an actress, or we can confirm here already that she's an actress. And Neptune is traditionally the planet that rules Pisces, planet that would be associated with the 12th house. So let's look at Neptune. So we'll come down here to Neptune, and Neptune is conjunct that moon in Capricorn. Neptune's here at 27 degrees. The moon is at 24 degrees. And coming back to that sun and the north node, that Neptune moon is making a trine to the sun north node there, conjunct her midheaven. So we can see the planet Neptune really coming into play here. Again, confirming that this person could potentially be an actress or someone who's involved in some kind of creative endeavor like music or acting. And it is making a trine to that midheaven. We can see the midheaven, what she's known for, what the public would see, and she has Sun and North Node, a planet like the Sun contacting the North Node, contacting the midheaven. Life is in a fruition state. What she's trying to do in life is in a fruition state, and the people can see that. So this is really showing much success in whatever field that she is in. And it's interesting, I don't know that much about her, but I know she played, just doing some research, she played some character named Eden, who looked very much like a Virgo person. So we can see that here, that she would be playing roles like that, where she would be playing roles where she appears to be this pure person, this person of purity. Although in her real life, I'm not sure that's would be 100% the case. When we do have Mars in Scorpio, Venus is also in Scorpio there at 0 degrees, which I'm going to come back to. But the ruler of this north node is Mercury. It's in the 9th. So more with Mercury there being in Virgo, its home sign, and in the 9th house, a very fortunate house. That ruler of that north node, which is already very fortunate with the sun there, really showing more information about her having a life that is coming to a fruition that's very fortunate. We can see that Mercury is moving towards the north node. So more on Mercury and Virgo in a future reading with this person for sure. Especially if we also have that Moon Neptune in the Virgo decan there as well, in the 3rd decan of Capricorn. She has Jupiter on her mind here, the 3rd house, the mind. It's in Aquarius. It's in the Gemini decan. It's ruled by Uranus, and also Mercury is exalted there. She's got this nice Jupiter-Uranus sextile there, right on the third house. So this is potentially going to be someone who's very intelligent, very progressive, very future-oriented. And I want to come back to, before I go to anything else, I want to come back to this moon and this Venus, because Venus and the moon are almost in almost an exact quintile. So she has this contact between the moon and Venus, really indicating that this person is very talented when it comes to her moon and Venus, her feminine, very talented when it comes to her feminine abilities. I mean, the videos that I saw of her, she's very attractive, and she's not afraid to show it. Particularly though, in this field of acting, we see this Venus is in the 11th house and it's at 0 degrees, but particularly with her being able to show many different sides to herself, like the idea of Gemini being two-faced, being able to uh, be adaptable, be like a chameleon, and we see even Venus is just leaving Libra, so we see that Venus really showing us at 0 degrees that there's much history there with Venus in Libra. So this person very much can be a chameleon, which in this life has, we can say that from what I know, has transferred over into being a actress, because that ability would be good for acting for sure. And we can see that Venus is making a sextile back to that Mercury. It's also contacting Pluto, and it's making a square to Neptune and Uranus. So very much this idea of money, Scorpio and the rising, this person is definitely about making money for sure. They're going to make a lot of money. With Jupiter on the third house cusp as well, with Jupiter on the mind. Money is definitely going to be at play here, and we see Venus making all these aspects. And the last thing I want to mention about that Venus making these aspects and looking at her relationship. Relationships are going to be very important for her because it's the opposition of her ascendant, obviously the 7th house, and it's that Taurus is the opposition of that rising, and Pluto, the opposition of Pluto is in the 7th house. So with the person that she's more likely going to relate to, she's going to relate to people in order to gain security, to gain money, to gain some sort of self-reliance. And her, from what I understand, her partner is a businessman who makes a lot of money. That would be Taurus. Now, the thing is, he's a Gemini. And without looking at his chart, you would think, well, where's the Gemini? Well, the ruler of her 7th house is that Venus, and it's in the 11th at 0 degrees. And having Venus or any planet at 0 degrees really shows Gemini qualities. As I mentioned before, this go-between two signs, or this in-between between two signs. So there he is, the Gemini, the Venus, relating to this man. Now, not denying that she's not in love with him, but from the astrological standpoint, relating to this man for money. And what's interesting is I think he's about 13 or 14 years older than her. So we definitely see the Venus in the 11th, the Venus contacting Uranus. Anytime we see that, Venus retrograde, Venus somehow being influenced by Aquarius, Uranus, there could be some relationships that are different. And in her case, I wouldn't expect her to go way outside of the box, but certainly being in a relationship with someone who's 14 years older than her is a common, amongst the consensus, I'd say a common Venus-Uranus, Venus-Aquarius type phenomena. And we can see that I did read something about family. She wanted to have a family. She's fairly young. We have the Saturn in the 5th, or on the 5th house cusp there, in the Leo decan of Aries. And there are some inconjuncts here. We're going to see there's an inconjunct between Saturn and that North Node. And there's an inconjunct between this Saturn and this Mars in the 12th. So potentially, as she comes up to her Saturn return, there could be some decisions to make, some adjustments to make regarding her work. Saturn, Mars, that Mars in the 12th, the acting, particularly her acting, and what she's known for. There, the Sun, the North Node, and children. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen there as Saturn moves out of Pisces and moves into Aries. So I'm going to leave it there for now. As always, there's probably much more to look into this chart, but it's just a mini birth chart reading for Sydney Sweeney. And I hope you enjoyed this and have a great day.